get us out some flavoring. Yeah. Here we are. Okay. I think we got everything. Gracie. What's that? Gracie, you let the folks in again without telling me. Oh. Well, howdy, friends and family. So glad to have you in the country kitchen again today. And, as always, you caught Mr. Tom cooking up some good food. Now, this poor folk food, yeah, surely is. From back in the day, when life was a little harder, but it was still tasty. So anyway, y'all pull up a chair in the dining room, and those of you who want to get a little closer, come on in the kitchen. We'll show you what we got and what you'll need to put this amazing dish together, okay? So like always, I try to show you what you're going to need to put this all together. Yes, sir. And it looks like a pile of stuff, but I'm showing you some alternatives. May not be the way I'm cooking it right now, but it was the way it was cooked back in the day. And I'm talking about the day, about the 50s, the 60s, and throughout the 70s, and hell, probably 80s, it may still be that way today. So what are you going to need? Well, you're going to need some pinto beans. Yep, dried. Of course, you could use canned, but that'll change cooking time. You're going to need some onion. Oh yeah, medium onion. We're using a yellow onion. You can use white, or you can use one of them there fancy sweet by dahlias. And we're going to be using some of this here fine Italian rosé garlic. Oh yeah. But if you wanted to, and you don't got no fresh garlic, like I got right here, looking prime, you could use some garlic powder. Now we're going to be using 4 cloves of this. And if you don't got fresh onion on hand, like many times they didn't have back in the day, you can use some onion powder. Yeah. And that's 1 tablespoon of onion powder per half a cup of onions. Which you might not know, this here medium onion's about a cup. So, if we didn't have it, we'd use 2 tablespoons. And to give it a little bit of spice, which always makes life nice, we're going to be using some crushed red pepper. Not a lot, just a little bit to add a touch of heat. We don't want it to be burning. We just want it to be warming. And of course, got to have a little salt, maybe sort of kinda. And this becomes, taste it before you add it. You can add this last. And I'll show you the reason why. A little bit of this here pure ground black pepper in the box. Yeah, if you want to grind your own, you go for it. And what we're going to do, just like we did back in the day, we're going to use some of these fine beef bouillon cubes. Oh yeah. Now if you want to use beef stock, bone broth, well, chicken stock for all that matters, or vegetable stock, you go right ahead. And to give it a little bit more flavor in depth, we're going to use some of this here fine French's right here. Worcestershire sauce, or however they say it. But yep, the pinto beans may be the star, but the co-star, yep, are potatoes. And we're going to be using today fresh Idaho potatoes. But even though I didn't get them out of the old pantry, you could use those dehydrated potatoes or even canned potatoes. I have some right over there, you see them? In the can, Libby's, or you can use your homemade canned potatoes. Here again, changes the cooking time and when you throw them in. What we're going to be cooking this in today. And then, to make it all the more better, we're going to use some of our world famous hotel brand hardwood smoked bacon, thick slice we are, that we picked up, reduced for quick sale, and I showed it to you on one of my superfood shopping trips that we got for $1.50 a package. Bought all they had, I did. And see, these are the main ingredients. Like I said, pay attention. If you got fresh onion and fresh garlic, then you don't need the onion powder or garlic powder. I just threw that out there. It's some alternatives. And we're going to be using our 43-year-old rival, right there, crockpot. An interesting fact is the crockpot didn't even receive its patent till January of 1940. Yeah, by a man named Naxon. Now, he didn't make it for everything we use it for today. Granted, it's not used as much as it used to be anymore, because now it seems everybody's on the Instapot bandwagon, which can also be used as a slow cooker, I might add. And I have one of them in the cupboard that a fine viewer sent me. Glory. And it's a fine thing. It'll do about anything. It may even be able to go to the moon. But another thing to understand, rival crockpots that became a sensation didn't become a sensation till the Chicago Housewares Fair in 1971. So everything you're looking at in this dish we're putting together today, for most of my life growing up, was made in a crock pot. But that's how we're going to do it today, because it's perfect for crock pot cooking. Yep. And another reason we're using it is energy prices are going through the roof, i.e. natural gas, and I have a gas stove. So, it's far more easier and more economical and hands-off to use the crock pot. Yep. And that crock pot there was given to me by my mother in 1978. You do the math. And now, to make this a complete meal, even if it wasn't more jam-packed with vitamins, minerals, carbohydrates, and protein, you know, the beans, they're providing the protein, not the bacon. We're going to be eating it over some enriched long grain white rice. If you want to eat it over brown rice, good for you. Wild grain rice, even better for you. I'll pat you on the back. Call you good boy. And see, we've already got our beans over here. They've been soaking overnight. And that's 1 cup of dried beans. And just in case you didn't know, and you might want to know, 1 cup of dry beans equal 3 cups of cooked beans. Well, pinto beans anyway, which is what we're using. Not sure about them navy beans, northern beans, lima beans, but pinto beans. It's a 1-to-3 ratio. Yeah, it is. You can look that up too. So, this is all what we're going to need. So what we've got to do is we've got to dice up some onion, some garlic, and, now we ain't throwing this whole pack of bacon in, like what they do now on the internet, and traditionally what they would have done back in the day. They'd have threw in some hog jowl, salt pork, not a lot, just a little, or they may have put in some ham, or even some beef they had on hand. But mostly, they would have used salt pork, a little bit of bacon, or, when times really hard, they go in the fridge. Here, let me get it, and we'll be right back. Now, when they had nothing else, didn't have the bacon, Didn't have the smoked ham hocks. Didn't have the hog jowl, turkey necks, beef trimmings, what have you. Every day, this is what they had. Their saved grease. Yes, sir. And I have it too. And we'll probably dump in a tablespoon or more just to kick up the flavor. Woo, doggy, that's gonna be good. If you're not saving your bacon grease, well, you might want to rethink your life. So, let me get this all prepared up for you so I don't bore you. And we'll be back. Well, y'all, while y'all were sitting in the dining room, chit-chatting, and the living room, I went ahead and diced up the veg that we're going to be putting in this. And here again, we got one medium onion, diced up about 1/4 inch. Now I know you're going to see some green here. And I didn't show you no green when I was telling you what you're going to need. Well, I had one of them there green bell peppers starting to sneak north on me. So I thought, hey, what the heck. Let's chop it up too and throw it on there. Now that's totally optional. If you want to or don't. It wasn't done back in the day. But I'm thinking it'll still be tasty. And then we got our 4 cloves of garlic, fresh, chopped on up. Now I know I showed you could use garlic powder. I didn't tell you the equivalent per clove. Well, that's 1/8 teaspoon of garlic powder per clove. Yep, so that'd be 4 1/8 or a 1/2 teaspoon. Equal 4 cloves. Then I diced up my Sunny Land bacon. Yeah, I didn't use a 1/2 pound or the whole 12-ounce package. Nope, I just used 3 slices because it was only a 12-ounce package, and I noticed there was only 9 slices. And I know back in the day when it was a pound, there were 12 or 13 slices because I used to cook it up for Sunday breakfast all the time for the family. Everybody got 3 slices. Well, that ain't happening no more. So we got all that done. It's ready to dump in our crock pot. Yep. We also went ahead, drained off our pinto beans, been soaking overnight, rinsed them all off. And that was 1 cup of dried pintos, which is going to make us 3 cups of cooked pintos. Now all we got to do is start dumping it in the crock pot. We're going to go ahead and start heating this bad boy up. We also went and got us a measuring cup. Yeah, you might wonder why. Once we get it all dumped in there, we're going to cover it with water. But I need to know how many cups because I'm using beef bouillon. Yeah, sorry, the label came off. So please remember, it's 1 beef bouillon cube to 1 cup of water. So I'll be measuring the water that it takes to cover up this here fine mixture of pintos and the veg and bacon. So you might wonder, what's with the potatoes, Mr. Tom? Why ain't you got them all peeled and diced up? Well, not sure I'll peel them, but we'll be dicing. But I don't like my potatoes turning into mush. If you don't mind that, you can dice them all up. Throw them on in with everything in the beginning. What I do, since I'm going to be cooking this on high for 4 hours, I throw them in at 3 hours. Yeah. Which at that time, I'll get my rice to cooking too. The old-fashioned way. In a pan with water. No rice cooker necessary. So, y'all back on up. And let's start throwing this together. Okay? It ain't hard. So, got the crock pot all nice and toasty. Time to dump in The old pintos right there. Just that easy. Next, what we're going to dump in. We're going to dump in all that chopped up onion, one medium onion, one small green bell pepper. Like I said, that's optional. You don't got to if you don't want to. One done back in the day. 4 cloves of minced garlic, fresh, and 3 slices of that hotel brand from Sunland, hickory smoked thick cut bacon. Yeah, only 3. So we're just going to dump all this on in there too. It's just that simple. Get it all on in there. Get our bacon, onions, everything in there. Gonna get our garlic in there. And, because we wanted to, and we had it, our green bell pepper. Yep. Got it all in there. Some of it tried to escape. Yes, it did. Now we're just going to give it a quick stir up. Mix all that together. So the beans, the onion, the garlic, everything is distributed throughout. Oh yeah. I'll show you once we get it all put together. Don't worry. Some of that bacon trying to get away again. You don't want that. Stuff's like gold. So got all that on in there. Yep, there's a piece of garlic tried to get away. Now what we got to do is got to cover it up with water. Hence why we got our measuring cup. So there's our first cup. Our second cup. And now our fourth cup. That'll be plenty. So like I said, it's 1 bouillon cube to 1 cup of water. So now I know how much of this here bouillon to get out of these here little foil packets. 4. So let me get that done, and we'll be right back. So we got our 4 beef bouillon cubes unwrapped there. Sometimes they're difficult. We're just going to chuck them right on in. But now we got to add some flavor to savor. Oh yeah! Got to get out the old measuring spoons. First off the bat, we're going to be getting out is our black pepper. Pure ground, that is, right out of the box, if we can get it out of there. Ain't much in here anymore. We're going to put this in 1 teaspoon. Yep. I like it. If you don't, cut it back to 1/2. Okay. Now, like I say, spice it up a little bit. We're going to put us in some of this here crushed red pepper. About a 1/2 teaspoon, I'm thinking. You know, it's fall time. That should warm it up. Make everything nice and cozy. Yep. If you don't want that much, put you in 1/4 teaspoon. Now you might wonder about the salt. Well, the beef bouillon cubes have quite a bit of salt in them. So we're going to put it on standby till towards the end when we taste it. If we think it needs some more salt, we'll add some more salt. Not now. Next, some Worcestershire sauce. Oh yeah. Now this is where the flavor comes in. So what we gonna do is pop us in a tablespoon. Yep, sure are. And when it all gets to percolating, cooking up, and near the finish line, if we think it needs a little bit more in-depth flavor, we'll add more. But for now, we're going to stay with 1 tablespoon. And at this moment, that's all you need to do. So we'll set the lid on. We're going to set a timer for 3 hours. I know my old crockpot. Yep, she's old. She's a goodie. And I'll come in and check the doneness of my beans. If they're right about where I want them, that's when I'll add my taters. Yeah. Of course, beforehand, I'll have them all diced on up. Okay? Once I dump them taters in there, I'll get my rice started cooking too. So there you have it. It's just that easy. Now, like I say, you could throw the potatoes on in there now if you don't mind them being mushy. You know, may disappear on you. That just ain't the way it was done. We're going to wait 3 hours. And then we're going to dump them on in there. Okay? So, grab a chair. Let's chat a while. And we'll be back. Trust me, we will. Well, y'all, timer went off. And I just dumped in the taters. And I forgot to show you. See, here they are, right here. We went ahead and peeled them. Cubed them on up there. A little larger than the pintos, but that'll be okay. The beans are nice and getting tender. Almost there. So I'm thinking 1 more hour. And this will be ready to dive on into. One thing for sure, if nothing more. It's got the house smelling nice and yummy. So we're just going to throw on the old lid again. Set the timer over there for an hour. And come back. See if our taters are done enough. And we got to get some of this here rice going now. So I got to get that going. So y'all come on back in about an hour. And we'll see how it's doing. Well, y'all, it's been an hour. So it's been cooking a total of 4 hours. On high. Surely has. So it's time to take a look at it. Y'all want to come over here and take a look at it too? Come on over. A little bit closer. Ooh, there it is. Now I realized I didn't tell you how many potatoes I dumped in there. Well, I did. But we had a technical glitch. And the camera was off. But what I did was, I got me out 4 of them medium-sized Idaho taters. And I peeled them. And then I cubed them up. You can see, they're slightly larger than the beans. Yes, they are. So now we just got to check this tater and see if it's nice and tender. Okay? Hold on. Oh yeah. Perfect. But something I want you to notice here. It's more of like a soupiness, right? And I want a little bit thicker than that. And there's a few ways you could do that. You could take one of those immersion blenders and run through it some. And blend up some of those fine pintos and taters. Yep. And that'd thicken it up. Yeah, you could dump in about a tablespoon of cornstarch too. That'd thicken it up also. But cornstarch to me leaves a little bit slicky. So let me show you what I'm going to do, okay? Because I want it to be a little bit thicker. Oh, let me show you my rice. Yep, right over here in a little magic pot. Not a rice cooker, just a pot. Woo, look at that fluffy, perfect rice. Oh yeah. Nope, that ain't minute rice, people. That's regular old, long grain, white rice. Yeah, cooked the old-fashioned way. In a pot. Yeah, it's so simple. 2 cups of water. Bring it up to a low boil. Dump your rice in. 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water. Cover it back up. Turn it down to where it's just a simmer. Just barely. And leave it for about 20 minutes. Comes out perfect every time I do it. So no minute rice for me. But let's go ahead and thicken this up just a little bit, okay? And let me show you how we do that, okay? So we got this little bowl here. We got our all-purpose flour. You can use any type of flour you want. Surely you can. And we're just going to take this teaspoon. I'm going to dump in there. We'll take another teaspoon. Dump in there. And third one. Yeah. Just like that. Okay? Now hold on now. Let me put up my flour. Okay? Now all it's going to do is take a little warm water, pour on in there. About a cup. Then we're going to take our little handy dandy whisk right here. Yep. Now it needs to be warm, not hot. Just nice and warm. And we're going to whisk it up to make sure we got any lumps out there. Okay? Just that simple. See it right there? All nice and frothy? Yeah. Now, come on over here. We're going to show you what to do next, okay? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our flour and water mixture and we're going to start pouring it in our beans and taters there. Yep. Just like that. Oh yeah. And we're just going to stir it a bit. Yep. And now we're going to let that cook some. And this is the important part. Gotta let that flour do some cooking. You don't want to be eating raw flour. So we're just going to place on the lid there again and let her Cadillac for about 10 minutes. And then we'll come back and see if it's thick to our liking. Okay? So it's been about 10 minutes. Let's check it and see if it's nice and creamy, okay? Instead of watery. Come on over here. Take a look at it. Look at that. Now that's more where we want it. You see? Creamy like a stew. Oh yeah. That's going to go good over that rice. So all we got to do now is give it a taste test and see if it needs anything. Hold on. So I got me a little here, a few beans, some onion, I see a green pepper there, a couple taters. Let's cool it on off and see what the flavor's like, okay? it's hot. Fogging up my glasses it is. So let's give it a try. Oh yeah. Well, that's flavorful. Woo! Just right. So we're going to switch it off. And we're going to play the supper bowl, okay? Show you what we got. So the first thing we got to do is put us some of that there nice fluffy white rice in our bowl. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Yep. Got it right there, we do. Let me find a ladle. Got me a ladle right here. We'll scoop this right over here. I'm going to take some of that beans and taters, dump right on top. Oh yeah. Woo, there you have it. See it right there? Yep, that's the finished dish. Now this is a super simple dish, ain't no doubt. Basic spices, basic things right out of your pantry. Pinto beans, taters, yeah, garlic, onions, and remember, we got the rice there. Now you should have that on hand as well. Plus we threw in an added bonus, those green bell peppers. Now, a little bit of the history of this dish. You see, back when we came to the South, the year was 1966. I was 9 years old. Things were not all that well in the South still. Great Depression, Dust Bowl, it hit them hard. And they were still working on recovery. People were poor. The South was switching over from an agricultural base to a more industrial base. Times were hard. People were poor. And the one thing I can remember throughout my childhood growing up here in the South was something that I heard more days than I didn't. And that was when it got close to supper time for most my friends and those I would later work with was it's getting time for beans and taters. And I thought since I heard it so much, it was just a saying about, well, it's getting to be supper time. It wouldn't be till I was invited over to some friends' house from time to time, and sure enough, what were they having? Beans and taters with cornbread. Oh yeah, which I wish I had right now, but for the life of me couldn't find my Jiffy Mix. I didn't really feel like making it from scratch, though I could have. So for tonight, since it's getting late, I'll probably do the Yankee thing. You know, remember, I wasn't born a Southerner. I'm a Southerner by choice. I'm going to probably find me some white loaf bread, butter it up, and eat that with it too. Now I'd also like to slice up some green onion on it. If it's done got dark, it's getting late. Now I ain't going out to my little raised bed, pulling up no green onion and dicing it up. This will be just fine, just like it was back in times of old, when life was much harder than what it is right now. But I eat it over the rice, and one thing I'll tell you about that right now. Beans are packed with protein and a lot of essential vitamins and nutrients. Yeah, they surely are. And I'll leave a link to their benefits in the description below the video. As well as those potatoes are. Yeah. Which you might not know, potatoes even have a goodly amount of vitamin C. But then when you pair it with the rice, you have now made a simple dish that now constitutes a complete protein. Oh yeah. And of course, there's just all kinds of benefits to onion and garlic. But I'll leave a link to the benefits of the old earthy, holy potato as well. So I hope you found this little cooking video here in the Old Country Kitchen useful and maybe enjoyable. And maybe you had something similar to this when you were growing up too. And if you're in a predicament right now where funds are low and you're trying to feed yourself and your family, maybe you'll give this simple dish, born from harder times, a try. So y'all, it is getting late and I need to eat. I got some dishes to do, kitchen clean up as well. So I'm going to sit down, eat me a bowl. If you'd like some, there's plenty left in the old crock pot. Y'all just line up, bowls are in the cupboard. Dish up what you want and come join me in the dining room. So until I see you and the kitty crew and Gracie on the next video, y'all take care out there. Stay safe. Prepare as you must. And may God bless each and every one of you as you bless others. Goodbye and good night for now. Yep. I'm hungry. Time to eat. Yes, it is. Finally. Got plenty left though. We'll be eating on it for a few days, but that's okay. Yes, my friends and family, an empty bowl after enjoying one of life's simple pleasures. Woo, and I'm full. Now I got cleanup to do. Put things away. And then I'm thinking, Betty Bye time's coming soon. Later all.